Our County Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. It's December 18, 2025. It's 3 p.m. Our members are absent, as Dr. Bear is absent, and Larry Goldsmith and Brock White are absent. The record show that. And on our agenda, is there any change to the agenda, Mr. Joseph?
Commissioners, Chairman Franchuk, Steve Josephson, County Planner, no, there are no changes to the agenda. One thing I do want to mention is that there was a P&Z meeting scheduled for December the 30th. We did not receive any applications for that meeting, so I will send you follow-up emails saying that there will be no meeting on December the 30th.
Okay, thank you. I look for a motion to approve the agenda then. So move. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Next, we have the minutes from our October 30th, 2025 meeting. Is there any corrections to the minutes?
Mr. Chair, I'll move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second? All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, the first item on our agenda today is a public hearing for RZ 0925 for George and Linda Sikora, are requesting a rezoning from agriculture rural residential for approximately 5.66 acre per property with an address of 3120 106th Avenue Southwest, located in the northwest quarter of Section 9, Township 140, Range 95, in Stark County, North Dakota. Mr. Joseph, do you have the applicant? Okay.
Hello, my name is Nick Jensen with Western Edge Surveying, representing George and Linda Sikora. Before you is a request for a rezone from agriculture to rural residential. Purposes of this is to, they're going to keep the house that the land is currently on, and then the rest of the land would be sold to their son, their family member. So that's the only reason request for this, and we were trying to obviously do everything the right way. So.
Okay. Do you have any questions? The board have any questions for him? Okay. Okay. If there being no questions, then I'm gonna open up the public hearing on that. Anybody have any comment for or against this request for rezoning? Anybody have any comment for or against this request for rezoning from agriculture to rural residential? Anybody have any comment on this request? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Then, Mr. Joseph, your recommendations on this?
Yes. Thank you, Chairman Franchuk, Commissioners, Steve Josephson, Stark County Planner. As was stated, this is a request to rezone of 5.66 acres of property on 106th from agriculture to rural residential. Just to note that in the future land use map, this does show up as general agriculture, which is supposed to have a recommended lot size of 10 acres. However, given the fact that this is an existing residence that's out there, there's some physical constraints on the rest of the property that would make for future development on that. It would restrict future development on that. And in the greater area, there are some existing subdivisions with lots that are this size or smaller. Staff doesn't see this as an issue. Staff recommends approval subject to the findings in the staff report, and I am here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Josephson? If not, then I'll look for a motion on this matter.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I move that the Stark County Commission, Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of RZ 09-25 for George and Linda Sikora.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I got second.
Don't matter. Can put me down.
Okay. Okay. I have a second. Then any other discussion? Not, I'll go roll call vote. Commissioner Freilich,
Aye.
Commissioner Nicholas,
Aye.
Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Larson,
Aye.
Commissioner Murphy,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, motion carried. Next item on our agenda is the public hearing for MSP 0725 for George and Linda Sikora are requesting approval of a minor subdivision plat of the Sikora subdivision for 5.66 acre property with an address of 3220 106th Avenue Southwest, located in the Northwest Corridor, Section 9, Township 140, Range 95 North in Stark County, North Dakota. I take it as the same property, just going for a minor subdivision. Okay. I'm going to open up the public hearing then, if there's no other questions on that. Open the public hearing. Anybody have any comment for or against this minor subdivision plat? Anyone have any comment for this minor subdivision plat request? Anybody have any comment on this subdivision plat? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing then. Mr. Josephson, your recommendations in this?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Franchuk. Commissioner Steve Josephson, Stark County Planner. You have a minor subdivision plat before you, which means that there are no new streets, no new easements that are proposed as part of this. It meets the minimum lot, it exceeds the minimum lot size for the rural residential zoning district. It also meets the requirements for a minor subdivision plat. The plat was sent out to review to one of our consulting engineers. The comments were forwarded on to the applicant's representative, and they met those, they reviewed those comments and adjusted and made adjustments to the subdivision map, subsequently. Staff recommends approval of the minor subdivision plat, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Josephson?
I just wanted to add that you will have it as part of your packet. You did get the 11 by 17. This is the revised subdivision plat. So that's different than what went out with your packet. And it does reflect the changes that came from the consulting engineer.
Okay, any questions? If not, I'd like for a motion on this matter then.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I recommend Stark County Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of MSP 07-25, the Sequoia subdivision, as depicted in the application material dated in October 31st and December 11th, 2025, as meeting all the requirements of the Stark Planning, Zoning, and Planning and Zoning Ordinance.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
A second. Any other discussion? Not, roll call vote then. Commissioner Nicholas,
Aye.
Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Freilich,
Aye.
Commissioner Larson,
Aye.
Commissioner Murphy,
Aye.
chair votes aye, motion carried. And this will go before the county commission meeting on the 29th of December then. Okay. Next, we have a public hearing for VAR 0125 for Michael and Alicia Pretzer are requesting a variance to section 3.7.3 of the Stark County, North Dakota zoning ordinance. The 40.10 acre property has an address of 3254 94th Avenue Southwest. It is located in the west one half or the west one half of section 16, Township 140 North, Range 93 West in Stark County, North Dakota.
Chairman Franchuk, Commissioners, before we hear from the applicant, I just wanted to clarify something, because the question came up, why is there a 125-foot setback for trees along, from the center line of county roads and section line roads? Other counties have something similar, and apparently it has to do with when those roads are covered with snow, that when the plows come through, that there would be adequate space, for that snow, to go. So that's why this provision and similar provisions are found in other zoning ordinances in this state. So I just because I was wondering why it was in there too, and then it was Mr. Miller explained to me that that's the reason why.
Okay. Okay. Is there somebody to represent Pritzers? You just state your name and explain what the reason is for the variance.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Mike Pretzer, and I am the resident out on the property. I'm requesting the variance before you. If you were outside last night after 9 p.m. or early this morning, you know how the wind can blow in North Dakota. Our farmhouse is located up on a hill, and there is no protection from trees, so the request is to put trees on the west side of our house, between our house and the road. And so that space is not a great space, so we are wanting to put trees a little bit closer to the road than the current regulations allow. The request for that is simply to help reduce the wind and especially the dust that blows from that gravel road onto our property. We have a garden, livestock, and then my wife has asthma and other sinus issues, so we're hoping that we can establish a decent shelter belt to reduce the wind from blowing and the dust from the road blowing, and have some protection in that way. So that is the reason for the request. Do you have any questions of me?
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, also the road superintendent, Mr. Miller, you've looked at this and you have no issues with that, or?
Todd Miller, Stark County Road Superintendent. Yes, we have. My foreman over in the Richardson area and myself met with Mr. Markison. And anyway, we looked at that, and it's not going to really cause any issue to us because it's actually on the east side of the road. And the reason for these setbacks of the trees at 125 feet is because not only for snow problem, it could cause snow problems, but also that when it comes to road construction, we have room. That road has been rebuilt, so that's what they're requesting, we're fine with. So
Okay,
we don't see any issue since it's on the east side. Prevailing winds in North Dakota 65% of the time are out of the northwest. And that study was done way back when the ethanol plant was built in Richardson. And so that's how I know that 65% number. That might change here lately, but anyway, so
okay,
that's all I have.
okay.
Okay.
Any questions for Mr. Miller? No? Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna open the public hearing then. Anybody have a comment for or against this variance request? Anybody from the public have any comment or on this request?
My comments will be short.
Okay,
My name is Lauren Myron. I live a mile away from them, and I'm the guy that has his back when he gets snowed in. So I know he needs the trees, and I appreciate Brian Miller saying that they support it, and I definitely support it.
okay, thank you. Okay, anybody else from the public have any comment for or against this?
I'm Larry Markison, and my son-in-law is Mike Pretzer, and my daughter is married to him. And I just want to say that the trees that were originally put in that area were planted along that road by my grandfather in the 50s. And they have all since then died away. And we just recently dug up the stumps, anticipating that we could put some new trees in there. And my son and daughter were not aware of the zoning ordinance that's there. And so that's why we're here, to basically say we would support them being able to plant the trees at the 76-foot mark rather than the 150-foot mark. So I just wanted to say that. In addition to that, there was alluding to the fact that my daughter have allergy problems, and she does. She's constantly doctoring and has sinus infection all the time. And we just think whatever we can do to help her out would be great. And so we would appreciate your support on that.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else from the public have any comment for or against? Not, I'm gonna close the public hearing, then look for a motion on this matter.
Want to
Oh, I'm recommendation, sorry, I skipped over you.
It's okay, we'll get through this quickly, so. Thank you, Chairman Franchuk, Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. This, if granted, this would result in a variance of 49 feet from the 125-foot requirement. I just wanted to call your attention to the fact that there's a site plan on here and also letters of support both from one of the residents' medical attendants, as well as from Road Superintendent Miller, both supportive of the proposed variance. Staff recommends approval of the variance subject to conditions, and all the conditions just do is reflect what the request is. So as I said, staff recommends approval, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Josephson? If not, I'll look for a motion then.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve application for variance VAR 0125 for Michael and Alicia Pretzer.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second. Okay. Hearing no, have a motion and a second, then there's no other discussion, a roll call vote then. Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Freilich,
Aye.
Commissioner Nicholas,
Aye.
Commissioner Larson, Commissioner Murphy.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. And this will go before the county commission meeting on the 29th of December. Okay. And we go move to our planning items. I guess the first thing is that we are in meeting the dates for our 2026. Is there any
Do
conflict
you
with
have,
anything?
can you forward, oh, there we go. Yes, Commissioners, I've gone ahead and forwarded this on to you, by email, and just wanted to show this to you, and make sure that you're okay with the dates. I always highlight that date in late November, which is right before Thanksgiving, and the date of the county commission has been, all those county commission dates have been verified too. So just wanted to make sure, if anything, that date in November, which is the same week as Thanksgiving, that's the only one I really call attention to. But anyway, I just wanted to show this to you and just, get consensus that we can use this as the P and Z schedule for 2026.
Thanksgiving would be the 26th, right?
Yep. So Tuesday prior to Thanksgiving. I'm good with it.
So am I.
Okay. And everything looks good on it. I guess we can always have change if there's something comes up on there, but I look for a motion to approve those dates and
So move.
motion to have a second.
Second.
All in favor, state aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carried.
Thank you. We'll get this finalized, and we'll also make sure that these dates get posted on the county's website.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else on the planning items?
I don't have any. The only thing that's up is we have some representatives from NextEra who are here. They want to give a presentation about battery energy storage systems. This is something I brought before the Planning and Zoning Commission as to whether or not the county was going to go forward with amending the zoning ordinance for this. There were other priorities last year that the staff and the Planning and Zoning Commission have addressed. Apparently, NextEra has interest in doing this on a property, I think, within the next year or two. And, my suggestion was that they come and explain what this kind of facility is, and also what the proposed project would be, and then see if the Planning and Zoning Commission at this time wants to direct staff to go forward and direct and develop language for the zoning ordinance to take up in this coming year. So go ahead.
Yep, you can go ahead and do your presentation.
Multiple copies here if anybody here would like some as well. If you're open, for you commissioners as well. Right there.
Thank you.
Do you have one for the state's attorney? Well, and also we have people here.
Yep.
from Emergency Services, state's attorney is over there. And in the back of the room is emergency services. You have an extra copy over.
A couple extras here too as well. Would you like one over
Yeah,
there?
we'll put those in the file.
All right.
So, yeah, so if you could just hand one here. We'll put it-
My name's Dalton Pearson. I'm here representing NextEra Energy Resources. I'm a project manager for the company. First off, I'd like to say thank you for the time to present here. Give a little bit more information about us as a company, our project we're looking at potentially in the area, and some more overview on battery energy storage systems. I guess with that, we'll just flip to the first page here, just going over our agenda. Like I mentioned, we're going to start off with a little introduction on our company. You might be familiar, we've been here in the past. Some of the benefits of battery energy storage, the safety and operations side, as well as community partnership moving forward. Go to page 3. So NextEra Energy Resources, we are one of the largest energy infrastructure developers throughout the nation. Anything from wind, solar, battery energy storage, natural gas, and we have operating nuclear sites across the country as well. We're in 41 states across the country. Across the country right now, we have 26 gigawatts of wind, 10 gigawatts of solar, and 3.6 gigawatts of battery energy storage. In other terms, that's enough to supply 11 million homes. Being a good neighbor, $9 million invested in local communities in the last 2 years through 2022 to 2024. Also, another $200 million additional in property taxes and fees to counties. With that, we'll move to the next slide 4. We'll start off with why battery energy storage systems matter. Keeping power reliable. Battery energy storage systems balance and improve grid operations. Also strengthens energy independence. It would be a local power source for the community close to Dickinson here. American competitiveness. This keeps our American energy locally, helps bolster the grid and allow for new manufacturing. Reducing costly upgrades. That's part of keeping reliable power and helping out the grid operators. And also, it's another way to bolster renewable energy. We know wind is an intermittent resource, so this is a good way to capture that energy that is being generated at a low demand side of things, and then putting energy back on the grid during high demand when it's needed. That will move to slide 5. So, NextEra Energy Resources and battery across the country. Currently, we operate around 20% of the BEST sites in the U.S. BEST just stands for Battery Energy Storage Systems. With that 20%, it's over 50 different projects operating in the U.S. and in Canada. With that expertise comes community benefits with the grid reliability, job creation, tax revenue, and helping keep energy affordable in communities. Decades of safe operation. We've been in this business with battery energy storage over 10 years. As a company, we've been around over 35. In building trusted relationships through different communities, we've been in North Dakota since 2003, operating wind throughout the site. We're looking at adding some battery storage to some of our other operating projects throughout the state as well. That will go to slide 6. As I said, 10 years across 50 different facilities. With those 10 years comes experience in operations of these projects. And like any other technology, continuous innovation and design improvements to help safety as well as reliability. That will go to slide 7. So what they actually look like. So a battery energy storage system is made of multiple different containers. Inside those containers are cells and modules. So a module is made up of a battery cell. Think of the battery in your cell phone. Those combined together go in a module. Those are stacked up together into racks, and those racks are then stored inside a different battery container. These designs are also outdoor. They will not be enclosed in a building. With all the safety features, including thermal management systems, fire detection, gas detection, and an emergency management system for charging and discharging the system safely onto the grid. Go to slide 8. So how they work, as I mentioned, renewable resources generate DC energy, and this can be stored inside the battery containers. That DC energy then needs to be converted to AC. Once it is converted to AC, which is what runs along our power grids, it's stepped up to match the voltage. In this case here, it'd be 230 kilovolts. And then once it's stepped up, it's onto the grid, and that power is free flowing for use of customers on the grid. That will go into slide 9. So this is another site layout here. Part of the benefits of battery energy storage is it's a smaller footprint. On average, about 10 acres, or 1 acre is about 10 megawatts of battery. What we're looking at here is 300 megawatts, matching the nameplate of the wind. So you'd be around 30 acres. A single container, as you can see, typically is about 770 homes for 4 hours. Get into that a little bit too. So in this example here, 100 megawatts, 4 hours. So 4 hours to charge the full 100 megawatts, and at full output, it would be another 4 hours of power being put back onto the grid. Think of it like a faucet. It doesn't have to be full blast all the time. You can extend that release of energy onto the grid a little bit slower if you needed to. Say it'd be 50 megawatts for 8 hours if you divided it in half. We comply with, here in North Dakota, we do have to comply with whatever the county implements as an ordinance and regulations. And at the same time, we also have to go through the North Dakota Public Service Commission for final permitting. Strategically located, we already have an operating wind site in the county, Brady Wind. That collector substation is where we would be connecting into. So trying to keep all infrastructure closely located to existing infrastructure to minimize footprint. For safety features, we have the site fenced in and just minimal access roads needed for operations, maintenance, safety. That will go to slide 10. So we take a layered approach to safety here. There are codes and standards that have been developed. NFPA 855 is the International Fire Code for battery energy storage systems. NFPA also does other codes for all sorts of electrical systems. Underwriter Laboratories, 1973 and 9540. These are a third party that tests and determines the safety or certifies the safety of the technologies that are being used. And with that as well, further safety precautions would come in setbacks and other regulations put in place by not just the county, but the state will have its own as well. So those are codes and standards we'd have to follow. After that, there'd be physical safeguards, detection systems, smoke, gas. Those will be monitored both locally, and we have the Renewable Operations Control Center that monitors all our projects throughout the United States. That's 24 hours. It can shut down any project across the United States and monitor them at any moment. It's 24/7. Thermal management, fire prevention technology. We also have to maintain the temperature here. Part of the NFPA 855 standards too, strategic spacing and ventilation, backup power sources as well to make sure they're operating safely at all times. Controls, more the same. Tracking voltage, temperature, if they detect any changes in things like this, we can know to shut down the site or implement any response procedures that we have set in place. The remote safety capabilities, site controllers to manage the power flow with all our safety systems as well. And going down to planning and monitoring, like I had mentioned, we have 24/7 monitoring over all our projects across the United States. Emergency action plans, that is something we would definitely have in place with the county and the emergency management staff here to know what to do if there was ever an event or an emergency. Same thing, coordinating with the local fire departments and sheriff's office as well. And with that comes comprehensive training. We do make our effort. We pride ourselves on training and having something similar to this, but with another fire expert or engineering and construction crew with the local emergency response personnel here to understand what to do. So we'll go to slide 11. Kind of covering the same thing, but kind of separating the on-site controls from the remote controls down at our headquarters. Whether that's real-time sensors for temperature, voltage, temperature inside the enclosures themselves, gas alarms, doors and ventilation, and that Renewable Operations Control Center, like I had mentioned, 24/7, 365. They can dispatch, they can find anything wrong if there's some sort of operational issue and follow the standard procedure there. Flip it over to slide 12. So, preparedness measures. Again, safety is the #1 priority here. Emergency action plan to be developed with local fire departments. With that comes training with fire departments as well for everyone's safety in the unlikely event of emergency. And in that event, our ROC, Renewable Operations Control Center, can coordinate and ensure the proper safety protocols are going on while keeping communities safe and protected. We'll jump to 13. So, ongoing safety investment. Like I said, technology is always improving, so continuously upgrading technology and protocols to maintain those standards to the highest level. Technology leadership. We will be using the latest and greatest in technology and safety standards. And it's an ongoing investment. We plan to be good partners and good neighbors for the foreseeable future. Future-ready infrastructure, allowing our sites to evolve over time, advancing innovations, augmentation, and safety improvements as we learn. And cybersecurity information or innovation with comprehensive 24/7 network monitoring, real-time threat detection, proactive security updates that meet NERC and NIST standards to protect your community's energy infrastructure. So we'll jump to the next slide here. This goes into more about our investments in North Dakota over the years. Long predates my time, but we've been in the state since 2003. That was our first wind project. That was by the town of Edgeley over in Lemoore County, North Dakota Wind 1 and 2. Since then, we've added 15 more to our portfolio here in the state, the most recent going operational in 2024, last year. Currently, we have 5 more wind projects in development, 2 battery energy storage projects right now as well in development in a later stage. We just did have our first, I think the state's first permit hearing for a battery energy storage system. That was for a project over in Emmons County. With that 22 years at this point, it's been a total of $3.7 billion in investment, $24 million annual payroll for all our employees working up here. With these is land payments as well. They're all voluntary options and leases we sign with landowners throughout the area. and property taxes have totaled $6.6 million in 2024. We're looking at, this project would be named Brady Energy Storage. Local spending impact during the construction phase, we would anticipate seeing hundreds of construction jobs here. Those are short-term, but after the fact, 1 to 3 additional local jobs to maintain and monitor the site. And with that comes additional source of tax revenue for the county. And we will jump to 15 to get a better look of the area we are prospecting at this moment. As you can see in the little map on the top right, we're down south a bit, 13 and a half miles, give or take, 300 megawatts, sited on approximately 30 to 40 acres. Utilizing the collector substation we already have there. If you look to the left of that dark blue box, our project boundary, that is where the wind site's power is all collected, jumped up, sent on a transmission line to the grid. So with this, co-locating with some of our already existing assets, there will not be additional transmission lines needed to connect onto the grid. It'll utilize what's already there. And we'll go to the next page. So yeah, again, over to the commitment to the community with some local job creation during construction, and then afterwards when the project's operational. Tax revenues for the county, which can be allocated how the county sees fit for schools, roads, community services, emergency management. Throughout the company, we've worked with 30,000 landowners. Just last year, we had $2.1 million in support for local programs, and finally improving the regional grid reliability. Getting to the end here, so it is, again, with the benefits of battery energy storage, grid reliability, which we've covered, safety advancements for this technology that we've deployed over 20% in the nation, have over 10 years of experience with, additional revenue for the county, grid enhancement, utilizing the surplus energy that we would see on the grid and discharging it when it's needed later. This can help with lower cost reductions for upgrading the system if it's not needed, and efficient land use, trying to utilize all the existing infrastructure we already have and making as minimal impact as possible. So, key takeaways. I feel like we just covered it in the last slide, but grid reliability, community enhancement, safety excellence, collaborative relationship with the community. As I said, over 20% of the operating battery energy storage projects are NextEra Energy Resources. And after that, we just have an appendix with a few extra details highlighting the safety improvements of battery over the years. As more batteries have been installed and as the technology has improved over the years, there's been less incidents as time has gone on. And finally, those codes and standards are on the last page, calling back to NFPA 855 and Underwriter Laboratories with their certification of the technology and the testing. And that wraps it up. Thank you very much. I can take some questions if you'd like. I can bring some questions back if I don't have the answer with me right now. This isn't going to be the only outreach we plan to have. We have battery energy storage engineers, fire safety experts we'll absolutely bring to the county as time goes on. I guess for timeline things, we're hoping to be operational by the end of 2028 if possible. That's our development timeline right now.
Where's your last facility have you built, or where is that located? The last one you've constructed?
We haven't constructed any in North Dakota. Hopefully our first one will be operational end of next year. We plan to get, we should have a determination from the North Dakota PSC sometime early next year in the first quarter. Throughout the United States, it's definitely a popular technology right now. I couldn't tell you the last one. I specifically only work up in North Dakota, but I can get you an answer for our most recent one that went up.
They're talking about a second location in North Dakota also, or?
Yeah, it's on the public docket. There's actually a North Dakota Public Service Commission hearing tomorrow for another battery energy storage up in Burke County, also by us.
Okay, thank you.
What's your timeline for application?
Timeline for application, we would like to, if everything worked well, have a application by fall of 2027, so a few years from now.
And that's good because in our current zoning ordinance for conditional use permits, a conditional use permit is good for 1 year. If there's no development that takes place during that period of time, then it means you have to come back and the applicant has to come back and renew that. So, but it's good to know a timeline so that we can look at amending the zoning ordinance.
Making some assumptions, does this application have to go in front of the PSC prior to us coming to us?
It's typically the PSC wants to get local approval first before it goes forward. And that was my next question is what kind of permit are you receiving from the Public Service Commission?
It's a permit of site compatibility. They review environmental standards as well as engineering and construction, making sure we're also complying with the county. We can submit simultaneously, but until we get approval from a county, the PSC won't put us on a docket. They want to make sure we're going through the appropriate levels of approval.
Right, and Commissioner Claris, the staff practice has been that if there are any applications that come in that require state approval, we ask as part of the application that the applicant show the county that they've got, that how they actually comply with any state, with any state requirements.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Okay,
There are
thank
none
you.
other, if there are none other from the commission, I've got a few.
Okay, go ahead.
So first of all, thank you for the presentation. The first thing I had is you talked about there's a remote operating center. Where's that remote operating center physically located?
That's physically located down in Juno Beach, Florida, at our headquarters.
Okay.
Yep.
I've been there. Okay, but they monitor a number of other sites that it's not just this, it's all of NextEra's operations or across the country or?
Yeah, they monitor 400 plus projects currently down there.
Okay. I'm not a real techie person, but from what I understand, the kind of batteries they have, they're lithium. They are lithium batteries, and I guess there are different types of lithium storage batteries.
Correct. The technology we would be using would be lithium ion.
Okay, lithium ion, okay. One of the things I noticed looking at the pictures that you put up there, and I don't know what state those were in. I know we don't have mountains like that here.
Yeah.
But the thing I didn't notice, I noticed it was gated. I didn't see that there was any screening, from the public in terms of landscaping or anything like that. And I know I've looked at some ordinances where the setbacks tend to exceed whatever the minimum is in that zoning district, and then landscaping is required as part of that. And we try to build that into our zoning ordinances, it's a matter of visual protection for the public. So I think anything, if the county does go forward with some sort of ordinance, you'll be looking at probably enhanced setbacks and visual buffering, visual screening from the roadway and other properties.
Yep. From some of the sites I've personally visited, they're all going to comply with local or state standards. That would be up to your discretion. Some of them have had sound mitigation as well that does put up a wall around them if it is needed. That's also another requirement from the state here too. 45 decibels, 100 feet from the nearest occupied dwelling. I guess in a comparable term, that would be the hum of a refrigerator in a house. I'm speaking louder than what 45 decibels would be right now. It's actually a pretty stringent standard, so. And that's ambient noise as well. We do know there's operating wind turbines within the area, and those would be accounted for.
Lifespan of the project, the total lifespan of use?
Yeah, about 20 years. So there's also an augmentation plan, like maybe if you know, with a phone battery over time, they do degrade. This would be part of the permitting package as well. Adding on additional containers over the lifespan of the project to make sure it maintains that capacity of 300 megawatts we're looking at here.
Does the Public Service Commission, do they require some sort of a decommissioning bond for these projects?
Yes, similar to wind, we would have a decommissioning plan set with the state. If it's required from the county, we would have that as well. Decommissioning / reclamation too.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, thank you then. Do you have any comment from the other two partners or not? Or are they just along for backup?
They just wanted to watch the show, I guess.
They just wanted to see North Dakota at this time of the year, so.
It was a fun drive.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Is there anything else under planning items or?
No, there isn't, and I don't know at this time if planning and zoning commissioners want to provide any guidance. It sounds like this project's a little bit out there, but on the other hand, one other thing we might want to look for too is much like there's an effort to put a model ordinance together for data centers, which both Ms. Burchak from the city and I have been working on the task force for that, and we hope to bring something to you early in 26. We'll see if there's any attempts here to do a model ordinance for something like this. I've sure reviewed a bunch of these, but if this may be one of those things too, where it might be in the interest of both the League of Cities and the North Dakota Association of Counties to go through that kind of exercise, which benefits not just the local governments, but it benefits the developers too, because they'll know what they have to deal with, so. And of course, if we do have anything come forward, I will always ask members of the Planning and Zoning Commission to assist in drafting and getting input before we bring it to Planning and Zoning Commission to the full Planning and Zoning Commission. But
Okay.
otherwise, no, I have nothing else except to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year.
Okay, and our next meeting is scheduled for January 29th. And
Right, and I've already talked to a couple of people who are planning to come through with, either subdivision plats or subdivision plats and rezonings.
okay. If nothing else, I'll look for a motion to adjourn then. Motion to have a second.
Second.
All in favor, state aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you.